Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today I want to have a quick discussion on how to download all the comments from a YouTube video or all the comments from all the videos in a playlist on YouTube. So the way we're going to do this, we're actually going to follow, there's a very good tutorial made by Analytics by Adam. He has a video right here. And he actually has a bunch of code on his GitHub right here. And this is basically just a small modification of the code that he wrote. So again, I just want to provide credit that a lot of this work is based off what he had already done. So I just wanted to show you this and package it up in a way that might be more helpful. So the first thing that I should mention is that this is, as we said, we're going to try to download all the comments from a playlist or playlists, plural. So what I mean by that is, let's come over here. I've got an example playlist right here that I made. I've called this thing test playlist 01. And you can see that it has only 3 videos on it, but each one of these videos have a whole bunch of comments associated with them, right? And what I want to download is all of these comments for all 3 of these videos in this entire playlist. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to actually need this ID right here. So I'm going to make a note of this. And what's really cool about this script I'm going to show you is that it can actually download from multiple playlists at a time. So I also have a second playlist right here. This is called test playlist 02. And we're going to do a very similar thing. I've got, another 3 videos here. I want to download all of the comments for all of those videos. So again, I am going to need this ID of the playlist right here, which you can just grab off of the YouTube playlists. Okay, so with that in mind, what we're going to do is let's come back to this script / code that I've got. Again, this is really, it's a very small modification by what was done by Analytics with Adam originally. So again, I just want to explain what's going on here. So what is happening here is this may look like a Jupyter notebook, right, which is executing Python code. It kind of is a Jupyter notebook, but actually, and again, you can see that by the file extension .ipynb. But I'm actually not going to execute this locally on my machine using the Python and Jupyter environment. Instead, I'm going to be using Google Colab, so that's kind of what this symbol is right here. What this is going to do is it's basically reproducing the Jupyter Notebook type environment, but up on the Google Cloud. So all of these imports and packages that you may need are actually already installed and ready to go in the cloud environment. And in fact, you also get some things like this right here, a couple of packages that you can't really get easily on your local on-prem installation. So again, long story short, this looks like a Jupyter notebook. You can probably execute this locally if you had saved all this, saved this IPYNB file, but you're not going to be able to do everything. And for some of these things, we are going to be using some packages in particular from this that are really only available in the Google Colab environment. So you're going to have to execute this in the Google Colab setup if you want to be able to recreate all this. Okay, so with that being said, let's just go through this and see what it does. So again, let's do our imports right here. So I'll just execute this cell, and again, this is where I think 3 out of these 4 lines you could probably do with a local Jupyter notebook, but it's really this line right here is the google.colab. That import is not going to be easy to do, so this is going to force us to be up here in the Colab environment. But okay, that executed, no problem. Now, let's go down and let's get an API key. The API key we are going to need because that's going to allow us to programmatically interact with the YouTube API and download all these comments. So I've got a dedicated video discussing what this API key is and how to get it. So feel free to watch that video if you don't know, but I'm just going to execute this, and I'm just going to copy and paste in my API key right here. So let me go and copy, paste, hit enter. Okay, so the API key is in, and now let's go ahead and enter in a list of those playlist IDs that we just talked about earlier, right? So these are those 2 playlists that I want, so I'm just going to go ahead and input that. Then we're just going to start using the YouTube Data API to start being able to query information from it. So I'll just execute some of these cells. And again, this is all done by Analytics by Adam. He wrote all this code, so I'm just using it. It's really pretty darn interesting and pretty cool. But now we are basically just looping through all of the videos in each of those playlists. And there we go. In 10 seconds, I think we got all of them. well, not quite downloaded yet, right? But we've got it up here in memory on the Google Colab environment. Now, let's download this to a CSV file. So there we go. So now this outputs this data over here, and let's take a look at this. And now what we should be able to see is, aha, check this out. This now should have all of the comments from all of the videos in all of those playlists. So, wow, this is great. Look at this. So, tons of data that you can get very, very easily with this, right? You can get this down into CSV file, and now you can go ahead and parse this and import this into whatever data manipulation program you'd like, and you basically have a ton of access to a lot of data from all these comments. You can mine it for whatever information you like. So I will provide a script in the description, a URL in the description that goes to a couple of these files. One, I will provide a link to my Google Colab notebook. So this URL right here, you can find this in the description of the video if you want to go ahead and just see this code and copy it and use it for yourself. And then the other thing that is in the description of this video is I have an example MATLAB script that will go ahead and parse all of this right now, and you load this in and you can start using MATLAB to manipulate this if you like. But again, this is just a CSV file, so you can really do whatever you want with it. So there you go. Again, like I said, just a really quick video showing how to download every single comment from a list of videos in a playlist in YouTube. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Thanks everybody. Bye.